Hello and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. Well, we're making our way through Matthew chapter 9. We're almost there, guys. We're almost into Matthew chapter 10. I will actually finish up Matthew chapter 9, most likely tomorrow, really. But today's verse, we're going to look at Matthew chapter 9, verses 32 through 34, which say, "After they had gone away, a demoniac who was mute was brought to him. And when the demon had been cast out, the one who had been mute spoke, and the crowds were amazed and said, 'Never has anything like this been seen in Israel.' But the Pharisees said, 'By the ruler of demons, he casts out demons.'" Now, we read a similar account of this in, I believe it's Luke's Gospel, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew kind of gives a brief summary of that encounter with the Pharisees and what they said. But Jesus is showing his power over Satan and his minions. We just saw him heal 2 blind men, and here he's healing these gentlemen. But the ominous, contrary explanation by the Pharisees is a foreshadowing of their growing hostility toward Jesus. By this point, they're getting hostile. They're getting upset with Jesus. The crowds are following Jesus. They're believing what Jesus is saying about him being the Messiah, the Son of God. And the Pharisees are like, nope, no way. He's the king of demons. That's why he's able to cast out demons. So let's look at this logically for a moment. What sense does that make? Jesus says, in that, like I said, I believe it's Luke. I'll look it up later. If I'm wrong, I will say so on tomorrow's show. But it's in one of the other gospel accounts in regard to this specific incident where he says, "A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand." So Jesus is basically saying, if I am the king of demons, I'm destroying myself by casting out demons. It makes no sense. So Jesus is who he says he is. He's the divine Messiah who is here to save people from sin. He's here to save us from sin. So I guess that's a question for us today. Are you letting him save you from sin? Or are you holding on to something? Do you believe Jesus says who he says he is? Do you believe Jesus is who he says he is, just like these last few verses have shown us? These people who came to Jesus, who had these horrible afflictions, possessed by demons, come to Jesus because they believe who he says he is, and he heals. Well, thank you for joining me on this edition of the Daily Bible Podcast. Like I said, we'll finish up chapter 9 tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.